Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir George Allen, Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Professor E. Nigel Harris, Pro-Vice Chancellor Clement Sankat, St. Augustine Campus Principal, and Dr. Rohani Maraj Sankat, distinguished honorary graduate Mr. Hans Hanuman Singh and his family, members of the executive management of the University of the West Indies, Honorable Minister of Arts and Culturalism, Winston Peters, members of the St. Augustine Campus Management, public orator, Professor Suruj Paul Tilak Singh, faculty of the St. Augustine Campus, benefactors of the University of the West Indies, parents, friends, well-wishers, members of the media, my fellow graduates, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me first thank God for bringing us to this point today. As graduates, we also thank parents, spouses, and significant others who supported us through the sometimes harrowing ordeal of long hours studying and traveling. Many of you were kind to tolerate our idiosyncrasies and mood swings, our sustained absence from home, and preoccupation with our studies. To the lecturers who facilitated our development, we especially thank you. We also thank the university, even though individuals from the School of Education often feel like distant cousins or outside children. I know that many students adopt a utilitarian approach to education, namely that its value is determined by its material usefulness. They see education only as a means of securing what they term a good job. You may ask me, what else is there? I want to suggest to you that education must be valued also for the desirable states of mind which it creates and the desirable effects in society of the presence of such educated individuals. Occasions like these give us opportunities for reflection and projection while we celebrate our achievements. We must honestly evaluate the past while we live in the present and explore future possibilities. We do well to ask ourselves three questions. What have we learned? What are those values we now embrace? What strategies have we developed for coping with the inevitability of change? Firstly, when I speak of what we have learned, I do not make reference to those sterile, quickly forgotten ideas hurriedly crammed into our minds to pass exams. I do not speak of those notions of self-importance which surreptitiously and deceptively come or accompany increased knowledge. I speak rather of the insatiable curiosity which correctly estimates the depth of our own ignorance and forever aspires to lifelong learning. The education we have received should be to us a living, growing entity because we have learnt how to learn. Thus, while our success may hide the fact that we still know very little, it bears testimony to our demonstrably large capacity to learn and to grow. But secondly, we do well to consider the values which we now embrace. Albert Einstein has said, "I believe indeed that overemphasis on the purely intellectual attitude, often directed solely to the practical and factual in our education, has led directly to the impairment of ethical values." As we leave the university, we do well to ask ourselves, what are those core values which now direct our lives? Every individual has a set of core values. These range from the mundane and earthy, such as our belief in hard work or punctuality, to the ethereal as displayed in common concern for others, in honesty, in integrity, and harmony of purpose. What indeed are these values which have developed in us? But thirdly, has the university assisted us in developing an effective strategy for coping with change? Life consists of constantly shifting boundaries, and without a coping strategy, we will not survive. Reinhold Niebuhr aptly prays, "God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." Do we see ourselves as change agents as we leave this place or go on? I would like to believe that this campus is more than a machine for social conformity, more than a production line creating passive individuals simply to fill slots in society like cogs in a wheel. Shall we settle for mindlessly perpetuating the status quo? We must begin to imagine better and better alternatives to what now exists. We must be individuals who investigate new horizons and explore new dynamic possibilities. We must go forth as dreamers, innovators, and agents of change. I close with the words of George Bernard Shaw, and he says, "You see things and you say, 'Why?' But I dream things that never were, and I say, 'Why not?' I thank you."